Yeah, so obviously I've got a lot to go through today. So obviously we'll happy to take as many questions as possible at the end, but I'd like to try and get through as much as possible. If there is any urgent questions, feel free to obviously ask, and we certainly will stop during the presentation, as Mark said. Is that okay, Mark?
That's fine. Yes.
Perfect. That's good. Good. Excellent. So obviously, as Mark mentioned, as you may know, we're going to talk about how to win with online marketing today. It is quite a big subject right now. Obviously, with the coronavirus, there's a lot of businesses trying to get online and trying to obviously take advantage of any online software that they can use to keep their business alive during these difficult times. But what I'm finding is that a lot of people have I still don't really know the right way to go about it. So hopefully today we're going to teach you a simple format that you can follow to try and help you get some success with online marketing. So what you will learn today really is the only framework that you need to live by to get results online. And what we'll cover is building an audience, driving traffic to your offers, and funneling people to the sale. And obviously, if any of you who do hang on to the end, I've got a free bonus gift at the end as well. So obviously, those three things are what I see as the only framework you need to live by to get results online. Is because if you miss out one of these three things, then ultimately your online success probably won't work. To be honest with you, any type of marketing activities won't do that well. So a little bit about me. So who am I? So I'm Mark Nicholson. I own a digital marketing agency here in Newcastle, specializing in lead generation and sales funnels, as well as coaching other business owners how to utilize online marketing strategies, such as what I'm about to teach you guys how to do today. And I've been helping people to do this for about 3 or 4 years now. And for many years before that, I didn't get into the online marketing game purely because I thought it was a completely saturated market. To be honest with you, I think it was one of those symptoms where what you want, you see more of. It's like when you go to buy a new car, or if you want a new car, you start seeing it everywhere. So I kind of wanted to get into online marketing, and I started seeing all these other people interested in it. So I kind of didn't do it back then, but 3 or 4 years ago, I took the dive, and I'm certainly happy that I did now. So just a quick thing, just to obviously prep you guys for this presentation here, I just want to make sure that we got the right people on the call here, really. So does any of this sound familiar to you? You don't have a predictable way of bringing in new leads and clients, meaning you rely on luck to grow your business. And you've got an incredible business with great results, with great case studies and testimonials to prove it, but you're still not getting enough people to come through the door or enough people to get in touch with you. And you're not following any type of specific strategy. So you haven't really got any real focus in your marketing efforts on that. And you still feel like you have no time whatsoever. Yeah, obviously your bank balance isn't where you want it to be. You're running around to make ends meet. You just kind of, without that focus, that strategy, that structure that you need to kind of grow your business. If so, here's what you will learn: how to create your business that will produce predictable results with this system, how to start getting leads and creating sales online, and how to position yourself as the expert in the eyes of your followers, because that ultimately is one of the key things that we need to try and do online. We need to position ourselves as experts of what we do. If people don't think you're an expert at what you do, the chances are that they won't come to you for help and they'll go to someone else. So hopefully that is what you want, and that's hopefully what you'll learn today. But yeah, I still find so many people aren't online, and it still kind of amazes me when I ask someone, so how are you doing your marketing? Are you online? What's your social presence like? And so many of them still aren't online. But yet we have over 4.3 billion active users every month online around the world. So when I ask someone the question, are you struggling to get leads? Are you struggling to find your audience? And they say yes. And I ask, are you online? And they say no. It kind of makes sense, because they are limiting themselves to a small demographic, normally their local community, rather than the entire of the country, the entire of the region, or the entire of the world, depending on what services that they have to offer. And 95% of adults aged between 16 and 74 are active online as well. So that's another surprising statistic. See, people who are up to 74 years old are actually active online. So no matter what demographic you're going at, you will be able to find your target audience somewhat online as well. So if you're not focusing most of your efforts with online marketing of some sorts, then why not? I mean, I can only assume that it's because that you don't know how to go about doing it. And the only way you know how to go about doing business is through typical networking methods, going out and meeting new people. And there's nothing wrong with that whatsoever, because it's still building your business, and it's still building, you're still getting your face out there in front of your potential target audience. But with online marketing now being so precise for targeting your demographics and getting your messaging put in front of them, it's certainly what you should be looking to do going forward. I'm sure if nothing, this coronavirus pandemic has kind of just made that more clearer than ever. Quick disclaimer though, online marketing isn't a get rich quick scheme at all. Okay, it's 100% a long-term game. So if you think you're going to just come online and start promoting your products and services and make some money within the first month or so, then unfortunately it's not how it works. No matter how many gurus out there are telling you otherwise, that all you need to do is this and this, and within 30 days you'll make millions. It's just not how it works, unfortunately. And pretty much here's why as well. So if we think about your typical customer, your customer always goes through a journey, like a life cycle with you and your business. And if we're targeting a certain audience, mostly is a cold audience, or somebody who really doesn't know anything about you, doesn't know your products, your services, doesn't see you as an expert at what you do, it's very difficult to sell to these people. Hence why when we first present an offer to an audience, we only get about a 3% conversion rate. Hence why I've got 3% ready to buy here. So if we launch an online marketing campaign today to a specific audience demographic, let's say on Facebook ads, we will probably see about a 1 to 3% conversion rate from that immediate sale. And this is just because these people are immediate, they are ready to buy buyers. They're people who know that they have a problem and that they want to kind of purchase today. But this isn't to say that you have to forget about the other 97% of people out there who potentially still could be your customers. Because that's what I'm saying, marketing is a long-term game. And if you imagine if somebody kind of walked up to you on the street and offered to sell you a Rolex watch for £5,000, you didn't have a clue who this person was, you've never met them before, what would you say? You'd probably say no. And it's no different with trying to sell your products and services online. You don't, just presenting an offer to somebody who doesn't know you just doesn't work, unless they're about 1 to 3%. But obviously, just getting a 1 to 3% conversion rate isn't that great on return on investment for marketing spend. And what this goes through here is, as you can see, the funnel on the right-hand side, we generally target a cold audience who, from that audience, we create a bit of a semi-cold and then a warmer audience. And then with that warm audience, we start pitching to them. We present an offer to them. And for any of those who don't then take advantage of the offer, we then retarget with another ad. But as you can see here on the left-hand side, the 3% are ready to buy immediately. But if we say that we're still targeting the same audience for the next 6 months, let's say in this example, over the next 6 months, you will see the next 90 days, another 7 to 10% of that audience will now start to purchase your product. And then over the next 6 months, another potentially up to 40% of that audience will purchase your product. So if you just run an ad for, let's say, 1 month, you're only going to get that 3%. But by positioning your offer in front of people on an ongoing basis, on a regular basis, people will start to get to that know, like, and trust you. If you've heard that saying before, and it's all about building up that know, like, and trust factor and positioning yourself as an expert in their eyes. But of course, you'll still get about 50% of people out there who just will never buy from you. And it's purely because they're either just not a good fit for your product or service, or they just don't resonate with your messaging. And that's totally fine, because obviously as a business, we're not looking to sell to everyone. We're just looking to sell to the right people. So what I'm going to talk you through today is what I've kind of developed, which is known as the ATF framework. And this is a framework that I've kind of developed over my time of doing online marketing. And it's the 3-step process that I spoke about at the start of the presentation there. So obviously the ATF framework stands for audience, traffic, and funnels. And if you get those all right, then obviously it leads to sales. But if you miss one of these out, then you're really going to struggle with any type of marketing effort, online or offline. If you fail to build an audience, you've got no one to send to drive traffic into a funnel. If you don't understand how to drive traffic, but you only have an audience, then again, your audience is never going to see your offers. And if you don't use a funnel, then you're missing out on huge return on investment potential and possibilities there as well. So just to dive into this framework, so audience, obviously, what do we mean by building an audience? So an audience is so important purely because if you don't have an audience, you've got no one to sell to. And it's like the example I was using before. If you've ever tried to sell a product to a stranger, it probably doesn't work. And this is purely because there's that no like and trust factor. So we've got the building audience. The bigger our audience, the better as well, because the bigger our audience, the more opportunities that you will be presented with. And what I mean by opportunities is opportunities to speak, to speak on stage, to get invited on a podcast, to go and speak on people's YouTube channels, and things like these. So things that are just going to amplify your audience building potential. Because if you think about the type of expert in your niche, the ones who are classed as the expert are the ones who generally have the biggest audiences. They're not necessarily the best at what they do. They're just the best at building an audience. And because they have such a big audience, they're seen as more of the authority, which again just amplifies it because they're seen as more of the authority. They then get more opportunities and then they make more sales. And having a bigger audience, obviously, it leads to more sales. And this might seem obvious to some, but I'm just going to run over a quick example, anyways. So if we say that you have an audience on Facebook, for example, of 1,000 people, and you have a product to sell, which is a £100 product, and you want to put that product out to them, if you get a 5% of those 1,000 people purchase your £100 product, you've made £5,000. But now if we compare that to having, instead of 1,000 people follow you, you've now got 10,000 people follow you. And again, you get a 5% conversion rate. You've now got £50,000. So just by amplifying your audience size, we're going to naturally get better results with our sales if everything else stays the same. Okay, so it's so important to kind of build an audience, because if we build an audience, we've then got our traffic to send to. And again, it comes back to always building the know, like, and trust factors. If you don't have an audience which knows you, which likes you, and trusts you, then you're really going to struggle to sell. And how do you build an audience? So this comes back to really knowing who your ideal client is, really getting into the nitty gritty of your ideal client, who you want to work with, and who's your dream prospect, in other words. And then thinking about who they are. Are they male? Are they female? Do they have families? Where do they live? What are their dreams? What are their desires? What are their pains? What can you really help them with? So really getting into all that. What type of movies do they like? What type of books do they read? What type of celebrities do they follow? And all this might seem pointless to some people. So why do I care what type of movie someone likes? Somebody might say. Well, if you know that from your demographic, so if you're targeting entrepreneurs, let's say, and you have The Wolf of Wall Street is a film that your potential demographic enjoys, you could potentially then use a quote from The Wolf of Wall Street. You could use a photo from The Wolf of Wall Street, something that's going to grab their attention in your ads and in your copywriting. So by knowing these things, you can really amplify your results from all over your marketing. And secondly, where do they hang out? So knowing where they hang out, where to find them, allows you, the chance to position your message in front of them. Because if you don't know if you know who your ideal client is, but you don't know where they hang out, you don't know if they're part of Facebook groups, if they're on LinkedIn, you don't know if they're reading certain magazines, you won't know where to actually then position your offers. In that, if you do that, then you'll just be kind of firing your offers everywhere across the web, and that just kind of won't work, and you'll just be wasting ammunition, and it's just kind of shooting arrows everywhere, really, and it just doesn't quite work like that. But if you find that one place where they all hang out, it could be an online forum, for example, and you start actively engaging in that online forum, then obviously you're then going to build that know, like, and trust with this group of people, and then you can start positioning your offers in front of them to kind of get them to come and find out more about you and your services as well. And then that leads back to what you can help them with. And ultimately, if you can position yourself and your offers, your products, your services in a way that is unique and only you can provide, then they are 100% going to come to you, because they have no other option, because only you provide them with that thing that they want that's going to help them solve that pain. So when you're thinking about your products and services, try to work out what's different about you, what's different about the thing that you offer them, and don't just be generic. Don't just like copy what everyone else is kind of doing out there. And again, just to follow on there from how to build an audience, it all kind of starts with obviously knowing who your ideal client is, where to find them, but then creating content that can actually help your ideal client to solve either a problem that they have, or a pain point, or answer a question that they have as well. So a lot of people don't create content because it is time consuming, and I 100% get that. It does take time. But if you're in business for the long run and not for the short game, then it's 100% vital that you do this, because without creating the content, content could be anything from videos, podcasts, blogs, ebooks, YouTube channel. Without creating anything like this, you're never going to have an opportunity to present yourself as the person who knows what they're talking about, the expert in front of your audience, in front of your ideal clients. If all you ever do is just talk to them in general on Facebook, let's say, and never actually provide any decent value or help them solve a pain point, you're always going to struggle to get them to come and ask more, find out more. Whereas if you can immediately do a blog that speaks directly to one of their pain points and answers it for them, then they're going to see you as much more of an expert on that front. And the more you can do this, the more you're positioned as the authority in your niche as well. And the more you can do this as well, the more you become almost like a local celebrity. So again, building that authority in your niche. So if you create a lot of Facebook videos, let's say you do a lot of Facebook lives, you boost some as ads, and you're targeting your local area, let's say, then people might start to notice your face, when they go shopping, or they might say, actually, I recognize that person over there, or they might have just seen one of your videos recently. They might come up to you and speak to you. But the more we can do this, the more you're seen as a local celebrity. And of course, by getting your face out there on videos, it's so much more better than just having a logo or text. So I see a lot of people create videos with just text on. And I think it's a shame because people remember faces more than anything else. You'll always recognize a face, but you don't always recognize the logo or a message. So again, try to always create videos if you can. I know it's scary sometimes, 100% is, but if you can, just make sure you give that a go. And just some tips when it comes to creating content. So what problems do you help? What problems do you solve? What problems do you help them solve? And create content around that. What questions might these people ask you if they're speaking to you? So again, if you can answer any questions that people generally ask you prior to speaking to them, again, it's just going to help with the flow of your sales process. And what questions would these people generally type into Google to solve their problem? So that's a really good one. So are they generally typing into Google, how much does something cost? How to solve a problem? Are they looking for comparisons from this product to this product? Reviews on, best of the top 10 ideas to generate leads online. So things like that. And one of my favorite tools to work out what your clients are actually typing into Google is answerthepublic. I think it's .com. But this is a fantastic tool because what this does is that you can, let's say you're a personal trainer. You can then go and Answer the Public, just put into the search bar personal trainer, and it'll show you all the questions people are asking Google around the keywords personal trainer. If you're a driving instructor, you can go in and type in driving schools, driving instructors. It'll give you all the questions people are asking Google. Then if you click on one of the links, it'll take you to Google and it'll show you all the articles that are answering those questions. And all you can do really to design your own content strategy is look at these questions and just start answering them. Just start creating, 2-3 minute videos even, and start publishing those on YouTube, start publishing them on LinkedIn, on Facebook, on Instagram, whatever you can, just try and get them out there as much as you can. And this takes us to now being omnipresent. And that obviously means just kind of try to be everywhere, because long gone are the days where your prospects are kind of all just in one place. So most people in the modern world are on Facebook, they're on Instagram, they're searching on YouTube, they're searching on LinkedIn, they're searching on Google. So they're kind of going everywhere. But this is scary for a lot of people because they think, oh my God, I've got to create content for all these channels. Well, what you do is you can just repurpose the one piece of content you've created. So if you do create a 2-3 minute video, get the video transcribed, and that can become either a post for Facebook, a post for Instagram, it can become a blog, or you can upload your video one day and then a month later upload the post so it's the same content, but it's just a different type of piece of content. It's a different format of the same content, and it seems like it's something different. So you can repurpose your content and utilize it across all of your channels. Because what you don't want to do is you don't just want to be on Facebook if your prospects and your clients are also on Instagram and YouTube. You want to kind of be on all three, because you want to be in the forefront of their mind all the time. And this is also includes with your emails. So if you are building up an email list, which hopefully you are doing as well, then obviously all this content you can share through emails as well. And ultimately, after you kind of work out your audience, after you work out where to find them, we then obviously create your what's known as an irresistible offer. And I've briefly mentioned this before. So know exactly what your audience wants, because if you present them with something that, if you create an offer without actually knowing what your audience wants, the chances are that it's not going to be aligned with what your audience wants. So if you do some surveying first and you ask some people, what are your biggest pain points? Would this help you if I created this product or service? And they're like, yes, okay, that would be great. Then you know what your audience wants now. You can go creating your offer around that. And when you're creating your offer, this is key to really get in the right type of languaging to use at this point as well. In presenting it in a way that's irresistible, such as presenting your USP, so only you can offer this type of product and service, and what benefits it's going to give them, what outcome goals will it give them, is there any type of urgency, as in like, is there a limited stock, is there a limited time, are you in high demand as a business owner, is there any type of guarantee? So guarantees are really key these days, because if you say, okay, well, you can try this product and you've got a 30-day money back guarantee, that immediately reduces the risk reward factor, which is the next step. And if you imagine, so somebody's spending £20 on something and there is no guarantee, they're a bit more reluctant to spend that £20. Whereas if you say, look, if you're not happy, there's a money back guarantee, 30 days, 100% give you the money back, no questions asked, the chances are they're going to feel a lot more comfortable with doing that. And yes, it can be scary as a business owner to do that, but this is where knowing exactly who your ideal client, ideal target avatar is, knowing exactly what they want and positioning it, you shouldn't get many refunds if you know that. And so it all kind of aligns together. And ultimately, the thing you're going to sell them is the thing that they want anyways. And you know if it's a good product, it's going to help them get the results that they want and desire. And it's a bit funny because sometimes people class money in different aspects. So some people will happily spend, let's say, £20 on a takeaway, but they won't spend £20 on a business improvement book. And again, this goes back to the whole instant satisfaction thing. So people, £20 is £20. It's just the risk versus the reward. Is the £20 worth the reward? That's what they're looking at. And if people buy a takeaway, yeah, £20, I know I'm going to get this takeaway. It's going to make us happy. It's going to be yummy. Whereas £20 to buy a book, I've got to read the book and then got to implement what it says. It's a bit more of a long-term game. But really, so we need to position our offer in a way that no, yes, the book, you have to read it, but you're going to get all these amazing benefits. So it's a huge investment to purchase this thing instead. And obviously the value we provide as business owners has to be higher than the risk associated with the thing we're looking to sell them as well. So that leads us on to the traffic now. So once we kind of got our audience keyed in, once we kind of know what they want, once we know where to find them and we've got our offer created, we now need to start driving that traffic. We need to know how to capture their attention, get the hook and drive them into our funnel, which is the next aspect of this training. And understanding how to drive people to your offers, which is known as traffic. So some of you might not have heard that term before, traffic. It is just simply driving people to your offers, to your website, to your landing page. And if you want to build a predictable and scalable business, then you 100% need to be using paid ads. And I know paid ads is scary for a lot of people because you're risking money. Again, it's risk. It's £5 to £10 a day. But people would happily go and spend £5 a day on a Starbucks coffee or something like that. Whereas because they don't see it as a risk, they're like, oh, well, I'm getting a coffee for it. Whereas with marketing, with online marketing, spending £5 a day to grow your business, to grow your dream, to build the thing that you ultimately want to be providing you the life that you ultimately want, isn't a risk. It's an investment into your long-term decision and it's an investment into your dreams and ambitions. So quit buying the stuff that, that's instant satisfaction and start investing the money into ads if you want to achieve the success that you want to achieve with online marketing. And you can start from a little as £5 a day and £10 a day. The only reason I've got £10 a day here is because what we're looking to do with any type of online marketing is to get results quick. And results, what I mean by results is you might not sell many products, let's say, or services quickly. You might generate many leads. But if we only spend £5 a day, it's going to take us 10 times longer to get the data back that we need than if we're going to spend £10 a day. So the more you can spend, I wouldn't really say go any more than £20 a day when you're first starting off. But the more you can spend, the quicker the data you're going to get back to reanalyze and to retweak and to re-edit. And ultimately, 9 out of 10 ads potentially will fail or won't work as well as you kind of hope for them to work. And that is, again, another scary type of thing. But the one ad that does work and does perform really well is the one that kind of will generate you the money. So that's ultimately what we could do. Hence why there's a lot of testing. Hence why we need to kind of get the data back with what's working and what's not working. And this whole thing of why 1 in 10 works comes back to the whole 3% thing. So, only 3% of people are ready to buy immediately. And that's not a lot. Obviously, it's less than obviously 10% of what we're seeing in 1 in 10. So by producing an ad out there and thinking you're going to get immediately results, the data proves against that. It's that you won't get great results unless you keep remarketing, unless you keep going and keep going and keep going with your type of ads. But general best practices when it comes to running ads as well. So if you are looking to run Facebook ads, for example, or any type of advertising out there, there's some general best practices, and it's obviously the copy. And what I mean by copy is the text on it must match the main funnel that you're driving people to, or the product that you're looking to sell. So you don't want to see one thing in your copywriting and then lead them to something else that's completely different than what you've been saying, because what they're going to do immediately is just click off that. They're going to come back and that looks bad from you from an SEO standpoint, and looks bad for Facebook as well, because they're seeing people click and go and leave straight away as well. But as mentioned, you've got to 100% embrace testing. So just test, test, and test as much as you possibly can. And big businesses have new ads running every single day. So they will turn certain ads off, and then they'll create a new ad and see how that works. But obviously, I know most of you watching this probably will just be getting started with this, which is fine. So what I'm saying there is just don't get attached to what you're putting out there. Put it out there and then see how it works. Then try something new, see how it works. Try something new, see how it works. And obviously, you can get quicker results if you do speak to experts in the area. So speak to someone who knows what they're talking about when designing Facebook ads or Google ads, and they'll have a better understanding of what works and what doesn't work, or how to structure your messaging. But of course, it's a whole different topic altogether. Really looking to hire people. But another thing is speak to your audience and speak like your audience. So speak in the language that your audience speaks. So if you're a financial advisor, let's say, don't speak in your financial advisory tone. Speak in the language that your audience understands. And I think there's a safe rule of thumb, which is speak on like a 6th grade level, I believe the saying is. What that means is that anyone can understand a 6th grade level vocabulary. Anyone, even the people with the huge IQs and huge degrees, they still understand it. But if you start speaking at a much higher level audience to your audience, you're going to dilute the people who are understanding what you're trying to put across. So certainly just try to cut the jargon, let's just say, keep it nice and simple. And obviously your copy has to match the image used as well. So when using images to promote your products and services on Facebook, try to make sure that it obviously resonates with what you're kind of saying in the text. Don't have 2 different random things, because again, it's not congruent, and people are always looking for congruency. And if they see you're not being congruent, then obviously the chances are that they might not trust you as much as they should. Use strong headlines that grab attention as well, because by using strong headlines that grab attention, that's the thing that gets them to read the ad when you're looking to drive traffic. So if you're running a Facebook ad, the image is the thing that gets you to stop. So if you're scrolling down Facebook, the image grabs your attention. Oh, what's this image? This is something different. I haven't seen this before. Or I recognize that face. I wonder what they've got to say. Then the headline, so either the headline in the text or the headline at the top of the ad's copy, is the thing that hooks them in to read more. So use something that's really going to get them to read more. And that's the simple 3-step process for when creating ads. And if you kind of get the headline right, but the image wrong, then no one's actually going to stop to read the copy. But if you get the image right and the headline wrong, people might stop, but then not actually go through to read it as well. So it's definitely something to take into consideration when developing your ads. And obviously monitor relevance score, but this is all about user experience. So if you are looking to kind of get started with advertising on Facebook, all Facebook cares about is user experience. They don't care about you and your business. It sounds horrible, but the reason they're so obviously rich and everything is because they've got millions and millions and millions of people on their platform, and they don't want to jeopardize that for anything. So if you're producing ads that isn't giving the users a good experience, they're going to kind of potentially ban you for that, or they'll start rejecting your ads and so on. So it's something that you want to be careful about doing. And creating strong and catchy call to actions, Because if they read your image, sorry, if they see your image, they stop on the ad. If they read your ad, but then your call to action isn't something that's really going to persuade them to click the link to go and view the thing that you want them to view, then they're just going to read the ad and then they're just going to continue scrolling. They won't actually go through to the next step thereafter either. And obviously using controversy and curiosity as well, but use this in a complementary way. So don't use things in like a negative way when doing ads, but controversy and curiosity really helps, especially curiosity. Curiosity always gets people wanting to read more or learn more or click through. Curiosity obviously is massively used in TV series. So they always kind of leave you on a cliffhanger, so you want to come back and watch the next one. And it's the same thing when producing ads. The goal of every ad or page that we develop really is to get people to go through and view the next page, the thing after that, which is obviously the thing that we're generally going to be selling them on anyways. But there's something that I've kind of found that works really well for me, and it's what's called a bit of a two-step formula to ad success. And this again hinges on the back of building your audience and creating content that resonates with your audience and really getting to know who they are. Because what we're looking to do here is we're looking to build an audience and then retarget everyone who's ever engaged with our videos, who's engaged with our page, who's messaged you. Because obviously those people are interested in what you've got to say, because they're liking your page, because they're watching most of your videos. And you can do this with ads these days. So if you create a particular video, which is how to solve XYZ, or the 3 top tips to, and you get 100 people view these videos, but 50% of those, 50% you can retarget the people who view that video at 50% or more. And that's really powerful things, because if people are watching more than 50% of the video, then they're kind of interested in this topic, in this subject, in solving this pain point. So what we're doing at that point is retargeting these people with the offer ad. So with the ad that actually tries to get them to come through. So what we've done is we've built a little bit of know, like, and trust through our free content. And now we're retargeting those people who have engaged with that content with some type of ad. And this is obviously just going to, and what this does, this allows us to target that 7 to 10%, that slightly warmer audience. And it obviously reduces it gives us a higher click-through rate. And what I mean by click-through rate is obviously people clicking the link to go see what it is you've got to offer on the next page. And obviously we'll give you a higher return on investment as well for your marketing spend. Whereas if you just immediately try and put an ad out there to the cold audience who have never engaged with any of your content before, you're going to see obviously a lot worse results. And people who are really, really, that 3%, 1 to 3%, let's say. So it's just a really simple, and it's a good way to kind of keep your costs down as well. But it does take more time and effort because you are producing content more so than just kind of letting the ads do the work. And this kind of takes us on to the final aspect of the ATF funnel. So we've covered audiences, we've covered traffic, and now we're going on to the funnel. And your funnel will ultimately become your business. And I know that's quite a bold statement, but what I mean by that is everything you do with your marketing activities is to drive traffic into your funnel, because your funnel acts as your sales team. Your funnel is the thing that captures them as a lead and then nurtures the relationship and gets them to buy your products and services, gets them to book a call with you. Your funnel does all that. Whereas in most I'm going to call them old-fashioned businesses, they don't have that set up. They have or they do, but not in an online format. Their funnel might be, somebody going to the website and clicking to book a call. That might be a funnel. But sending people to a website, websites are more generic. They're more of a brochure. Most websites is like, this is everything we do. What I mean by a funnel is a specific sequence that you're going to send people down that has a sole purpose of getting them to convert as a lead. And that's it. It's not a website. It doesn't tell you everything to do. It's talking about that one pain point that your ideal client has, and it's taking them down a sequence that's going to get them to convert as a lead and potentially as a sale, as a customer as well. And it is the one thing that all your efforts go towards driving your traffic into, as mentioned before. But I briefly mentioned what is a sales funnel there. I just want to give you a bit of a more visual aspect here and a quick description on the screen. So it's a step-by-step process that allows you to bring your potential customers one step closer to your offer and a buying decision through a series of marketing actions like automate emails, videos, articles, and landing pages that do the selling for you. So as I've said, if you want to have that business that gives you predictable results and that is scalable, you need to have systems and processes in place. And this is just one aspect of the ATF framework here. that obviously helps you do that. So we've built the audience, we've got the traffic, and now we're sending them into a funnel that's going to do all the selling for you. That's going to do all, get them to kind of convert for you. And on the right-hand side of the screen there, obviously we've got at the top, we've got our traffic source. All these people come from Facebook, come from YouTube, Google, Twitter, Instagram. We're sending them into the funnel here, as you can see. We're capturing them as leads. We're taking them through our sales process. We're offering them upsells and so on. And then obviously we're getting money out at the bottom end as well. And that's how we generally do this. But what's one step before we can go into what the sales funnel is we need to understand a little concept that's called a value ladder. And this is kind of like a method that we use to map out our products and services from a visual thing, which is ascending order of value and price. So obviously at the bottom of the value ladder, as you can see there on the Y and X axes, we've got value going up and price going along the bottom. So the lower the value, the lower price. As the value goes up, so does the price. And what we're looking to do is we're looking to obviously bring our audience from the bottom step up to the top step. And a lot of people don't utilize this philosophy. A typical example of this is some people might just have one product or one service. Let's say that their product or service is, for sake of argument, £3,000. If we try to sell our £3,000 product or service to people who have no experience with us, have never dealt with us, have never purchased any of our other products and services before, it's going to be a lot more difficult than it is trying to sell a £3,000 product to people who have already purchased smaller, cheaper valued products and services. And that's a quick example. We'll use an example of a dentist here. So this is a typical dentist value ladder, okay? So the first level on the value ladder is teeth cleaning. So they might offer someone, okay, come in, you get a free complimentary teeth cleaning service. But you got to remember their ultimate goal here is to get people up at the top level of the value ladder, the cosmetics area, plus sign people up to the 6 months checkups. So they're offering something for free that people want down below. And then what they're going to do is they're going to gradually say, well, oh, look, you've got your teeth look like they need a little bit of whitening. Would you also like this service? Or your teeth, do you need a retainer? They look like they're a bit wonky. So things like that. And then obviously leading up to cosmetics. And obviously as the value goes higher, so does the price. So that's kind of what a value ladder looks like for a dentist. Same thing for a gym or a trainer here. So gyms offer free trials. Come in for your free trial. Then they'll upsell you on the monthly memberships. Then they'll upsell you on fitness class memberships, which is again higher price again. And then they'll potentially upsell you on a personal training one-to-one services, which is more valuable, but again, it comes at more of a cost. But if they just kind of if their first ad was, come and join our personal one-to-one training for only £2,000, yes, they're going to get some buyers, they're going to get some takers, but if their first ad was free trials, they're going to get loads of people signing up to that. They're going to get an opportunity to then nurture the relationship, nurture that lead up the value ladder, which is ultimately what we want. And this is generally how a funnel works. So we've got Rebate, what's known as our offering, which is something that solves the problem for your ideal clients for free. So obviously the free such things as ebooks, webinars, videos, trainings, cheat sheets, so on. And then we've got this is also known as a lead magnet. And what I would say at this point is, if you are creating what's known as a bait offering or a lead magnet as an ebook, make sure that it only solves the one biggest problem for your customers. And the reason I'm saying you want to make this so valuable that your customers will want to come back and work with you. If you don't put much effort into this part of it because it's free, and you treat it, oh, well, I'm not going to give much away because it's just free, you'll never get an opportunity to then upsell people on your additional product and services. Whereas if you give it your whole heart and you really do develop a really good webinar that solves a problem for someone, that they're going to want to come back and get more of you, because people don't just have one problem. Generally, if they get one problem solved, another problem kind of appears. So they will come back for more. The next end is what we call a front end offer. So if we imagine now somebody's just kind of downloaded your ebook or signed up, you've presented your ad to your audience to come and check out your free ebook to solve XYZ problem. They come, they download it. We can now immediately show them another offer, something of low value that's taking them up our value ladder. And in this case, it is generally something of lower cost, but again, lower value. So something around £7 to £49. books, courses, consultation, trial periods, cheat sheets, things like that. There's quite a lot of variety of things you can do depending on your industry here. But the main benefits for this is what we're looking to do here is we're looking to recoup our marketing and advertising costs. Because one thing that people struggle with is if you're spending money on ads, but you're only sending people to a free offer, you think, okay, well, I'm going to be losing a lot of money here. And if you just leave it there, then yes, you will. But if you then immediately show people a low value offer, something between £7 and £49, a certain percentage of those people that sign up to your free offer are then going to purchase this thing. So it helps helps recoup your ad spend immediately rather than thinking long term. And obviously it helps build the trust as well. And it also segments the buyers from the window shoppers. So you now know which people that are in your CRM are the ones who you can sell more products, the one who actually take action and not just go and look for everything that's free. So that's something what we want, the action takers. Again, for the people who have purchased that front end offer, we now look to sell them a middle end offer, going up your value ladder again. This doesn't need to be all done in one fell swoop. This can be done, a couple of days later through an email sequence. But generally what I would do is I would try to maximize it on the first interaction with them as well, just purely because some people are buyers. Some people do buy immediately because their pain is that strong, and that any solution that you present them with that's going to solve it for them, either faster, quicker, or better, they're going to purchase. And that's what we want to take advantage of here. So again, things like courses, consultations, products, coaching things like that. And then ultimately we've got our top of the ladder funnel here, which is your high-end premium products and services. These are the expensive things that you're offering. Again, things like done for you services or high value products. So this is everything we've got. And what I'm going to show you now is just a couple of examples and comparisons here. So we've got Tom and Jenny, not Jerry. I should have, but Jerry shouldn't have. So Tom doesn't use a sales funnel, and if we imagine they both got the same traffic source, driving the exact same audience in here, selling the same product. But for every customer that comes in, for every one customer that Tom makes, he makes £27. That's his average order value, because he doesn't have any upsells or he doesn't have any downsells thereafter. So he's capped. So every one customer that he gets, he's only making £27. But Jenny utilizes a bit of a sales funnel. So every customer that comes in and purchases from her, she then offers them an additional product, which is known as a bump offer in this scenario, of £10. And from the people that purchase the first product, she gets a 20% conversion rate at that. Out of the people that purchase those, then get another offer to purchase something else at £97, which converts at a 10% conversion rate. So again, because what we're doing here is we're taking advantage of active buyers, okay? So her average order value is £38.70. So if I was to say to you, for every customer that comes into your funnel, you're going to make £27, or you're going to make £38.70, which one would you rather? Probably rather the £38.70 one. And the second example here is what we've done here is we're just kind of saying that we've got 5,000 people driving into our funnel here. And as you can see, Tom, again, is just immediately offering a product. He's not offering anything of value up front, anything for free, just the product straight away. So he gets about a 1% conversion rate there, which is 50 people. So out of the 5,000 people that comes into Tom's funnel, Tom's not even a funnel, Tom's page, he makes £1,350. But with Jenny, she utilizes a sales funnel again. So she offers something of value up front, which is a free ebook, a free guide, a free cheat sheet. She gets 40% of the people that come through to actually opt in and not purchase, claim that free thing, get that free thing, which is about 2,000 people. And then she offers the products. And then again, she takes them through an upsell sequence again. So her total order value is 2,322. And this is purely just because she's used a funnel here, rather than just one offer, one ad. And if we look at the comparison, so Tom obviously made £1,350, whereas Jenny made £2,322. Tom only has built his list of people by 50 people. So if we're thinking about email lists here, building up an audience, creating as big of an audience as possible, Tom's only increased his email list by 50 people. So he's only got that 50 people to then resell his other products and services to. Whereas with Jenny, she's built an email list of 2,000 people. So if we go back to the audience scenario that we had before. So now Jenny gets an opportunity to demonstrate her expertise to all of these 2,000 people through the free thing that they downloaded. She's took advantage of the active buyers who are looking to kind of solve a problem immediately, which they have done as well. And now she's now got a chance and opportunity to retarget those entire 2,000 people completely free through email marketing at her other products and services and offers that she's got, whereas Tom only has a chance to target 50 people. So although Jenny's made a lot more money in the funnel immediately, she's also going to make a lot more money at the back end of the funnel. Because on average, if you're doing email marketing reasonably well, every name on your email list could be worth about £1, every name. So if we take that on average over the lifetime value of Jenny's customers, she could be looking to make about £2,000 a month on average on her email list, if she's using it correctly, that is. If it's just sitting there doing nothing, she's not going to make a penny. So hopefully by the end of this, I know I've gone through a lot, and this is kind of like a new format that I'm just kind of looking to get up there. So hopefully you've learned that the importance of building up your audience and your following, why you should look to do that. Hopefully you've learned why you should be utilizing paid traffic and why you should be doing it after you've built an audience. And because if we try to present that offer to people without first demonstrating expertise, it's difficult. We're not going to get great sales, and we're going to be spending a lot more money than we should on our ads. And how utilizing a funnel helps massively increase the return investment from everything you do. But not only that, helps increase your email list as well and everything as well. And I did mention at the beginning that I've got a free bonus to give away here. And this is something that's a bit of a work in progress for me, but again, it's something that I'm looking to help people do. It is the Elite Funnel Builders Academy. And this is a free academy that I've got running at the moment. That will help you kind of learn to build your own online sales funnels and how to utilize software to kind of automate and streamline your online business. And I do have a little bit of a mini challenge in there as well, which is a 7-day funnel building challenge, which does take you through kind of like the aspects we've talked about today, getting to know your ideal client, getting to know your audience, and then obviously creating the funnel to or get them to come and opt into your products, your free things. So it's really, really helpful. And if you want to get access to that, again, it's free of charge. There's no charge for this whatsoever. You can go either to my website, officialmarketnicholson.co.uk/funnel builders academy, so funnel-builders-academy, or you can kind of use this QR code here. So if you do have your phone next to it and you've got a QR code scanner on your phone, feel free to just kind of get that QR code scanner out there and scan it, and hopefully that will work as well. And of course, if anyone does feel like they need extra help with this, or just want to have a chat, a general chat about how they can utilize online marketing with those, my details are just there. I've got my email address, my phone number. Feel free to reach out. I'm more than happy to arrange a call with anyone on this call today as a thank you for watching this and getting to the end. And I've also got my Facebook community there, which is the Elite Funnel Builders community. So if you kind of just search for that, and that'll be great as well. And that's everything for me. So I kind of opened up the questions now, Mark, if we've got any.
Yes, we have, Mark. I've got a couple here already for you. And if anybody's got a question, drop it in the chat box and I'll ask it on your behalf. So here we go. If you are in a highly competitive market dominated by big spending PPC national organizations, do you have to spend big to compete?
No, you just need to be different. So that's why we'll come back to being unique and positioning yourself as the expert. Because those people, well, to be honest with you, those big corporations, that could be where you're going to get your best customers from. Some of my best customers have came from me engaging on my competitors' Facebook groups, because these clients can't afford to pay my competitors' prices because they're like 5 times more expensive than me. So they've came to me instead. So if you are kind of trying to build your audience out there and you are competing with a large, let's say, a large competitor, you will always get people who will resonate with you and not resonate with your competitor. And this is where it comes back to kind of being authentic as yourself and telling your story and demonstrating why you're an expert at what you do, and creating content. Because if you're the person that they come across that helps them solve a problem for free, you're the one that they're going to be more loyal to, no matter who's got the bigger ad spend, in my opinion.
Thanks for that. Here's another one for you, Mark. If you post the same content on multiple platforms, do you get penalized by the Google for duplicating your content?
So when it comes to posting content across multiple platforms, what I would generally say is try to spread it out. So I think I mentioned earlier on, So if you, let's say, create a video, and you want to post it to Facebook, maybe wait until next month to post it on LinkedIn or to post it on Instagram. So like spread your content out, because again, that does help with not sharing the same content. It gives your audience more of a reason to come follow you on your different channels. But I'm not 100% sure if it does actually penalize from a Google standpoint. But even if it does, what are you really focusing on? Are you really focusing on an SEO point of view, or do you want to kind of drive traffic through the strategy that I've just kind of talked about there, through building an audience, driving traffic through paid ads, and getting them into a funnel?
Okay.